One day, a tigress died while giving birth to a cub. At that time, a herd of goats were passing by, and so the cub was brought up by the goats. Of course, the tiger believed himself to be a goat also. It was simple, natural. He had been brought up by the goats, lived with the goats. He believed that he was a goat. He remained a vegetarian, eating and chewing grass. He had no conception of what a tiger was. Not even in his dreams could he dream that he was a tiger. And he was a tiger. Then one day, it happened that an old tiger came across this herd of goats, and that old tiger could not believe his eyes. A young tiger was walking amidst the goats. Neither were the goats afraid of the tiger, nor were they aware that the tiger was walking amongst them. The tiger was also walking like a goat. The old tiger somehow got hold of the young tiger, although it was difficult to catch him. He escaped more than once. He tried, he cried, he screamed. He was afraid, he was shivering with fear. All the goats escaped, and he was also trying to escape with them. But the old tiger got hold of him and pulled him towards the lake. He would not go. He resisted, just the way we try to resist facing our own self, our very being. He tried his best not to go. He was scared to death, crying, weeping, but the old tiger wouldn't allow him. He pulled him and took him to the lake. The lake was silent like a mirror. He forced the young tiger to look into the water, and the young tiger saw with tearful eyes that he looked just like the old tiger. And then the tears disappeared and a new sense of being arose. The goat started disappearing from the mind. He was no more a goat, and he could not believe his own enlightenment. Still, the body was shivering a little. He was afraid, and he was thinking, maybe I am imagining. How can a goat turn so suddenly into a tiger? It is not possible. It has never happened. It never happens that way. He couldn't believe his own eyes. But now the first spark, the first ray of light had entered into his being. He was no more the same really, and he would never be the same again. The old tiger took him to his cave. Now he was not so resistant, not so reluctant, not so afraid. More and more he was getting bold, gathering courage. He started walking like a tiger as he went to the cave. The old tiger gave him some meat to eat. It is difficult for a vegetarian, almost impossible, nauseating. But the old tiger wouldn't listen. When the nose of the young tiger came near the meat, something happened. From the smell of the meat, something deep in his being, which had been fast asleep, was awakened. He was pulled, attracted towards the meat, and he started eating. Once he tasted the meat, a roar burst through his being. The goat disappeared in that roar, and the tiger was there in his beauty and splendor.